Hi, once again, and it's late night evening again, but here I am doing my day 22. So 3 weeks over of my 30-day challenge, and I've been thinking about what to do during the rest of this, starting from tomorrow, really from next week, and it's all going to be this week about storytelling because I'm building up on the 3rd of October, so it's in just under 2 weeks' time. I'm going to be doing a keynote on storytelling, business storytelling, for the East Yorkshire Business Expo here in Hull at the Mercure Grange Hotel in Willoughby. And storytelling is also a big part of everything I'm doing. I'm doing more and more keynotes about storytelling around the Professional Speaking Association. On the 6th of October, I'm doing a keynote for the PSA convention, which is not about storytelling, it's just packed with personal stories. It's called Extraordinary Moments. It's a new keynote presentation that I'm putting together based upon some of those moments in my life when things have been, when extraordinary things have happened, but often didn't appear to be particularly extraordinary. And I'll tell you one of those stories now because it's not going to be in that particular keynote, or it'll only be a small part of it. What started me in keynote speaking, what started me on a speaking career in 1968. Gosh, that's a long time ago now. In 1968, I was 18 years old, and you think that 68? That's a long time ago. I had just completed 2 years at college doing sciences, and I was planning to go to university to become a nuclear engineer. Would you believe it? A nuclear engineer. It required me to do one thing, get 3 C's in A-levels, and I was off to Queen Mary College, London, to study nuclear engineering. I got 1 E. That was a bit of a game changer because that was it, the end of my chance for going to university. Persuaded my dad to let me go back to college for a 3rd year and abandoned sciences completely, thought it just was not for me. So I'm going back to do economics, sociology, retake some maths. I thought I might be able to get some 3 decent A-levels out of that. Got myself set up for some places at uni to do economics now. Although it was quite challenging. I needed some pretty good A-levels to get there. And anyway, I'd just come back from Butlins, having worked at Clacton in the bars, and I'd earned quite a bit of cash, actually. I'd come back, I was a bit flush with cash, but my dad said, you can go back to college, but you're going to have to pay for a lot of yourself, so that money was going to help me pay for bus fares and various other things to get to college. Anyway, we sort of got enrolled, and I'm sitting on the college steps, wondering what to be doing, and talking to a friend of mine who'd been there the previous year. Every Wednesday afternoon at college was a free period. That was a period when you could choose to do pretty much anything you want. It was a whole list of programs, and you were encouraged to do something completely different to what you were studying in your main course. And the first year I'd done typing, which I didn't know was going to be quite so valuable, and obviously that's been pretty useful for me in the long run now on the computer. The second year, because I was doing sciences, I had to do physics practical. So I had to do practical stuff for physics A-level, and didn't really enjoy it, didn't pass my physics A-level, was a big mistake. So this year I'm sitting here thinking, I just don't know what to do. And my friend was big into drama, I wasn't. And he said, why don't you get involved in the drama group? Now, the drama group every year at the college always performed whatever play was the play that was the main Shakespeare play for the English GCE, then GCSE today. And that year, it was this particular year, 68, it was going to be, 68, 69, it was going to be Julius Caesar. Now, my friend Alan had already got the part of Cassius. Another friend of mine who'd been there the previous year was also already cast in the part of Brutus. That's the 2 big main antagonists in Julius Caesar already set. Julius Caesar was an older part, and one of the lecturers was a regular in the plays, and he'd got that part. It left one big part open, Mark Antony. And my friend said, why don't you come and just audition for that? And I thought, oh, I don't know whether Shakespeare's my thing. And just at that moment, a couple of girls walked past, and I particularly liked one of them, really fancied her. And my friend said, well, yeah, why don't you come? They're all in the drama group, and we've only got one changing room. I thought, okay, I'm in. Now, I met her boyfriend as well. That was soon over. I decided if I was going to do this, if I was going to get into the drama, I didn't want just a small part. I wanted a big part. So I grabbed a copy of the play, went home, and I learnt most of that speech. You know, the friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. That speech. And I learnt really about at least half of it. I actually learnt off by heart. I read through most of the rest. Oh, we got there, and I jumped up first and gave my big rendition of that part. There were 2 or 3 other people going to audition for the part, so I knew I just had to really perform this. So I belted this out, and I got to the bit where I memorised, and he said, "Oh, go on, carry on." So I struggled my way through the rest. At the end of it, okay, fine. Who else wanted to have a go? And everybody else said, "Oh, no, not now." He said, "Oh, come on, so we can share this role. One people do it one night, one another night." And I hope that wouldn't happen. It didn't. Everybody else backed off, and I got the part of Mark Antony, and it was brilliant. One of the best things I ever did in my life. But what happened then was the director, John Dewar, came up to me and he said, "Look, you're not good enough yet." I thought, oh, confidence. I thought I'd done quite well. He said, "No, I need you to take some of the acting classes from the full-time drama course." So I thought, all right, I'll have a look. And, very weird. Despite the fact I was doing 3 A-levels and a couple of O-levels, the whole of the drama group literally slotted in to all of my free periods except for one. There's just one lesson that clashed, which was okay. So I thought, right, I'll enroll. So I enrolled in the full-time drama course and completed it, got my grade 8 from the Associated Board of Royal Schools of Music, was qualified in speech and drama, and after the end of the summer, shot off to Butlins to spend 3 months becoming a redcoat now, because I'd really got the bug for theatre. And yeah, that was the start of it. It was another 4 or 5 years. You remember a couple of days ago, I did a quick video at Elvetham Hall. And that was the place where I'd done my very first actual public presentation. But the reason, obviously, I got to do that was because I'd already demonstrated to my boss at the time that I was quite good at speaking. I was a good performer and I loved what I was doing. And so it was just a matter of slotting those drama skills in to be able to talk about, well, mortgages, of all things. But it's funny, you look back at it. I did the drama. I actually auditioned to go to drama school. But to be honest, I think I would have potentially got bored with drama. The problem is okay, great if you can get a big part, big movies and become a big star. I'm not sure I was ever that good. The thing about it, a lot of people spend most of their time doing repertory theatre and doing theatre work. And that means just repeating the same part over and over again. You're usually in a part for maybe 2 or 3 years, repeating the same lines. Now, as a speaker, that's exactly what I do. I write my speech, and I work my speech up, and I deliver pretty much the same thing over and over again. But I'm not sure whether I would have wanted to have worked somebody else's part, some character. Because when I'm speaking, it's me. I'm performing me, and I'm doing me, and it's my lines, it's my script, even though it's the same thing over and over again, and it's practiced and rehearsed. It's different. I did do amateur dramatics for a while, and I did obviously do a little bit of theatre, and I enjoyed what I did, but I'm not sure I would have wanted that as a full-time career. And again, you look at the acting career, there are a few people that earn a huge amount of money, but there are a lot of people that earn very, very little at acting and spend an awful lot of time waiting at tables and temporary administration work. It's one of those businesses that looks very glamorous, but actually, the majority of people, it's tough. The acting helped me enormously. I always recommend to anyone who wants to get into public speaking, try doing some acting training. It really, really helps. It gets you comfortable with the stage, comfortable with performance, working your voice well, and learning how to perform. Now, I'm also having to learn new skills now, just working to camera. And it's very different working directly to a single camera than it is to working to an audience with a theatre. Also, when I'm working with audience, I'm working directly with the audience in much the same way as a stand-up comic or anybody else is. But with an actor, it's called the fourth wall. What you're doing is you're in a stage, and you're inside a box. You're acting, you're directing everything towards the fourth wall. But in most productions, there's not a level of interaction going on with the audience. You're performing with the other actors in a role, and they're watching on. Some plays engage the audience, and when I'm speaking, I use a lot of theatrical techniques to engage the audience and have fun with it. But anyway, so what I'm going to do this next week, I'm going to try and get a few guests on that I can talk to about their stories. When I'm doing my presentation, my keynote on the 3rd of October, that's all going to be about business storytelling, getting people to think about their business and look at the story behind their business. So I'm going to build up to that with a few ideas, a few quick little bits and thoughts and ideas. The keynote will be helping, specifically giving tips and ideas, and I should be using a few ideas from the audience. And the workshop, which I'm running in October, is going to be taking that into a much bigger full day event of helping people to actually put together their business story, an exciting, compelling story that draws people in to want to do business with you. So that's where we're going over the next couple of weeks. That's the end of it for tonight. I hope that's been some useful thoughts. Think about it, when you're doing speaking, focus on your storytelling. If you're thinking about getting up and doing a speech, there's no question about it. Good stories engage people. If you can find a story which makes the point you want to make, use the story rather than just make the point, because people will get captured into the story, they'll enjoy the story, and they'll remember the story after you finish speaking far, far better than they will remember facts or details or even pictures, slides, all those things. Nothing works better than a story. So if you want to do any speaking, always try and work right away, right from the beginning, think, what story can I tell here? And so we're going to be working on storytelling all this week. I'm going to be looking at ideas and thoughts around how you can become a better storyteller in work, in business, in anything that you're doing in life. I shall look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.